This up. You cannot make this up, clout babies. Hold on a second. Let's go. Let's get to the show, yo. Yo, so I found out today Young Thug caught snitching. Apparently, it's a leaked video from 2015 of him telling. He was just telling. My boy was just there pointing fingers and telling. So Trap Lil Ross released this video today. We're going to get straight to it. I don't want to waste you guys' time, and let's get straight to it. I want to hear you guys, what you guys say about this, how you guys feel about this, because I'm not from the street, so there's different rules of snitching. They keep on moving the goalposts, so I don't know. The street is divided right now, okay? Let's watch this real quick.
This was brought to my attention when it was reposted on Cedi's page, okay? And essentially, there's just a whole bunch of stuff in here that you just wouldn't believe, all right? For somebody that is so adamant that he hates Gunna for snitching and that Gunna's a snitch, Gunna's a rat because he took a plea deal, he took a plea deal too. And what's so crazy about this, and this is why I'm asking you guys, is this snitching? Because he sat down for a whole, I don't even want to call it an interview. This is a damn near a podcast at this point. He sat down for 2 hours with detectives and talked. I'm not going to cap. They bring him a sandwich. God, he sat down and ate a sandwich with the detectives. I'm not.
He got a sandwich. Son, if you're going to snitch, you might as well be like Ice-T or Ice Cube. Just, have a TV show, like, Law and Order, and just, just be a cop.
I'm not bullshitting you. I'm about to play you. For some people that have never heard this is going to blow your mind. And it's very unfortunate, okay? I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, okay? But there's multiple, and I played you a couple of clips at the start, but there's a lot more to this. You tell me, is this telling? Because for everybody that says Gunna is telling, surely this, bro, you got to tell me, bro. Let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. So look, straight off the back, all right, they ask Young Thug, right? They ask if Thug knows why that the cops want to talk to him, and he says no.
I've been treating you good, I guess, so far? Okay. Well, you have any reason, or do you know any reason why I would want to talk to you? Obviously, I'm from Cobb County.
Why would you?
Yeah, why I would want to talk to you.
The miles in Cobb County?
Do what?
What is it?
No. Relax, man, relax. We got something that's going on. It's something totally separate from what you got going on. We're not even here basically looking to talk to you about anything that we think you did wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's more just to get a feel and just get a background of everything that's going on. Does that make sense? Okay.
Lives in ATL.
Anyway, man, what I would like to do is just talk with you and just, like I said, get background of this whole shebang of just.
So they've said to Thug, look, we're not sitting down to accuse you of doing anything, okay? We just want to talk to you about something, okay? What could it be? All right, what could it be? Okay. And actually, you know what? One more thing that I just want to give you context for, okay, is Young Thug was basically arrested for making terroristic threats, I believe the charge was. So this was a case back in July 2015 where Young Thug was arrested after making terroristic threats, allegedly saying that he would shoot a mall security guard in the face, okay? He was later charged with drug and weapons violations, okay, but the US Marshals arrested him early that morning for making terroristic threats. They said that he threatened to shoot a security guard at the Perimeter Mall in Atlanta, and he was escorted out of the mall where he made a threat. He was apprehended at a residence in Sandy Springs, Georgia, by the U.S. Marshals, and he was taken in. So this is the context. He wasn't arrested for the Jimmy Winfrey tour bus shooting case. He was arrested for this, but then he decided to sit down and have this conversation. And they let him know what the conversation is. They said, look, we ain't here to talk about anything that you've done. We want to talk to you about something else. This is what it was.
Just the whole history of what's going on. I'm sure you know what happened in Cobb County, right? With Peewee and all that crap.
Oh, Rosco.
Yeah, Rosco.
Oh, yeah, with that Lil Wayne shit.
Yeah.
So they would read him his rights, and they would make it very clear to him, okay, you don't have to talk to us about this if you don't want to. You can not talk to us. I was under the understanding that in the streets, this is usually where you ask for a lawyer. A lot of UK rappers, they do no comment interviews. They just say no comment to everything they're asked. It's a known thing in the UK, no comment interviews. A lot of rappers have made songs called No Comment on this basis. And they make it very clear to him. They read him his rights and they say, you do not have to talk to us, okay?
Talk to us. It's totally up to you. But we would like to talk to you just so you can help sort some stuff out, if that makes sense, okay?
So if you want to talk to us, we want to talk to you about a separate incident, right? that happened in Cobb County, that incident, okay? We want to talk to you and get some information about what's happening. So he would basically go on to, they would basically go on to read him his rights. They say you got the right to remain silent. You don't have to walk. And Young Thug, it would appear he did not want to make use of his constitutional right to remain silent in this situation. He decided, I'm going to have a conversation with you guys, since you guys want to have a conversation with me about all this craziness that's been going on. And they talk, man. The podcast runs for like 2 hours.
Your first right is you have the right to remain silent. And that's it.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Hip hop lives in
Do you
ATL.
want to initial?
I don't want to initial.
That's
So he says, and I think this is telling, right? There's paperwork in front of him. They say, you got to initial these rights. And he says, I don't want to initial. I don't want to write. I don't want anyone to know that I had this conversation. But he sits down and has a conversation for 2 hours from here. Okay. They say he has the right to remain silent. He says that he doesn't want to talk. And they even say to him, look, anything that you say here can be used against you in court. You understand, right? You might not want to initial, but do you understand what we're telling
if you
right now?
understand it or
Okay.
not. You don't have to put
Okay.
pen to paper for nothing if you don't want to.
Anything you say can be used against you in court.
Yes.
You understand? Okay? You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions and to have a lawyer with you during questioning. You understand
Yeah.
that? Okay? If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you if you wish before any questioning begins. Okay? If you decide to answer any questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you do me a favor? only if you can. Could you read me this first sentence right here?
Hip hop lives in ATL.
Of my rights or it has been read to me. I understood these rights. At this time, I am willing to answer questions without a lawyer present. No promotion present made to me. No question for any kind has been.
That's if you are willing to talk to us. That's kind of what that's saying. Like, we haven't threatened you, we haven't hit you with a club, we haven't made any promises. But do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk to us right now about? And like I said, I'm not trying to influence you one way or another. It's your choice if you want to talk to us or not. But do you just want to talk to us right now in this room without having to have like an attorney present? That's basically what that's saying. You don't have to sign that form if you don't want to,
Hip hop
man.
lives in ATL.
Yeah, okay.
And that's fine.
But do you? That's 100%
But I'm
fine.
so, I'm not saying anything against you.
No, I feel it.
We
I feel
love to talk and whatever we need to talk about. But she know I talk to you about anything. But I don't.
You don't have to sign that. You don't, okay, you don't, but you
I
under.
talk to you about anything where you know.
He's saying, I'll talk to you about anything you want to talk about. I don't want to sign that. I don't want to put my name on the paperwork, but I will talk to you about whatever you say. I understand what you're saying. That's what he's saying. Okay. And he says, I'm happy to talk to you guys without my attorney present.
You understand that though?
Yeah.
Okay. If you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
So what you're saying is you will talk to us without your attorney present.
Yeah.
Okay.
If questions that I wouldn't be able to answer, I wouldn't answer.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's
Now, look, he says a whole bunch of things in this, and a large portion of it, which I'm not really going to focus on, even though it is kind of funny, he flirts with the lady cop in this, right? The female detective. He's flirting with her a whole bunch throughout the interview. It is kind of funny. Now, a lot of people have commented and said Young Thug didn't really give them anything. But as you saw at the start of this, I mean, he said that, Jimmy Winfrey used to carry Lil Wayne's drugs and that he breaks the law every day. We already saw that, right? So you guys just tell me is this talking too much? Should he have really even let it get to this point? Should he have asked for his attorney immediately? I honestly don't know. All right. I need you guys to break that down for me in the comments. Okay. But he explains it. Okay. He flirts with the lady cop. She says he looks better in person than in his mugshot. And then he basically just goes on to explain where he grew up, where he went to school, his career, etc.
Yes, you have been a perfect gentleman. Well, you have.
I mean, you said that too.
Talked about, he mentions Jimmy Winfrey at the start when he starts talking about it. And he says, yeah, Wayne just mentioned me in the interview.
let's not say artist, because I don't want nobody to think I don't got no problem with any artist out there. You just mean
I'm talking. All right, I'm talking about Young Thug and you.
I mean, Slam came out and straight said that I'm naming my album such and such because of props and because I'm such a fan, and that's a total different approach.
Okay.
So I had to be just a monster for me to be like, I don't believe you. So if he says from the heart and we say that he's some kind of fan, then welcome, and I love him. Help, thanks, bro. I appreciate everything about it if he's a fan.
So he's saying, thanks, bro, if you're a fan. Thanks, bro. And this is after all of that went down, okay? This is after the shooting went down. It's low-key, a bit of a sneak diss. And Young Thug initially says, yeah, I kind of thought it was lame, but then I kind of, and maybe he's covering his back, but he's saying, no, I finally accepted it. He's finally accepted that he's a fan and we never really had a problem. And I looked up to Wayne my whole life. And he even says, which I thought was really interesting, he said he grew up copying everything Lil Wayne did. He said he wanted to rap like Wayne. He said that he got tattoos because of Lil Wayne.
What's
Like, before I even got big rap,
Yeah.
my whole life, I always wanted to rap. Like the other guys, they was in here, they was like, why you got tattoos? I'm like, well, I ain't got a tattoo. I really wanted to be like this nigga so fucking bad. Like everything he did, I did. Everything. He sad, I sad. He pulled his pants up, I pulled him up. He skate, I
Hip
skate.
hop lives in ATL.
Everything he ever in his life did, I did. I really want to be like in real life. Really did. I really look up to him. I still do. I listen to nigga music. I still upload him on my page. Like,
So he's saying, I really look up to Lil Wayne. I still do. I'm trying to be everything. I wanted to be everything Wayne was in my life. Okay. And then that diatribe is interrupted by the detective bringing in his bologna sandwich. You can't make this stuff up, man.
They look at me. This is what they had.
Oh shit. That's a bologna
You should have told
sandwich.
me before you left the
you
house.
can't send somebody over here something?
Sweetie, you in jail now, and I don't think they gonna take candidates there.
What time is it?
So they bring him his bologna sandwich. Okay, they bring him his bologna sandwich, and he keeps discussing things with them. Okay, they go back and forth. They say some stuff that's not really relevant, but he eventually gets asked straight up. Okay, the detectives have buttered him up enough. They've given him his bologna sandwich. It's time to start singing, man. So they just ask him straight up, hey, explain to us what this whole beef between Lil Wayne and Birdman is all about. We're trying to know whether it was you or Birdman that arranged that shooting. Like, can you break it down for us?
Please explain to me, what's the whole beef between Lil Wayne and like Birdman? Why is he trying to sue him and all that? What's the deal with that?
Hip hop lives in
From my
ATL.
knowledge, Birdman and Wayne, well, I mess with Birdman just like Wayne do.
Yeah.
He's like big homie to both of us. So, I really look up to Wayne. If I had a chance to be with Wayne and Bird, I'd be with Wayne before Bird. I don't really care about him that much. I really care about Wayne more than him then.
So he said initially he grew up idolizing Lil Wayne, and he really wanted to basically use Birdman to get around Lil Wayne. He said, if I had to choose between Wayne and Birdman, I'd say F Birdman. I'm trying to be around Wayne. All right.
I always was like, every time I was around him, I always used to be like, why Wayne? Because Birdman got a studio.
Okay.
This Bird room, this my room, this Wayne room. So I always asked him. He always brushed me off though. I always be like, I be like, tell bro, come, you know what I'm saying? I be like, tell bro, come fuck with me. Come make something, make a song with me.
So he's saying he used to tell Birdman they would be in the same studio together. Birdman had a studio, and Wayne would be recording in one room. Thug would be recording in the other room. And Wayne would just brush him off. Wayne wasn't trying to hang out with the Lil Wayne clone, all right? And he would say to Birdman, like, hey, why ain't Birdman, why ain't Wayne messing with me? Like, why doesn't Wayne like me? Why doesn't Wayne come rock with me? All right? And then he would later find out they fell out.
And he always used to be like, I just text him, he about to come. But you know what I'm saying? So I started getting it like, him and Bird, they fell out. Then I was like, what the hell going on with you and Wayne? Tell me. He was like, he mad because him, because I don't want to put his album out.
So he would say that, and bear in mind, he's telling this to detectives. He's letting detectives know all this inside stuff. And I've seen comments basically saying this is the best interview Young Thug's ever done. Because you don't see him do interviews. You see him with that weird interview that he did with a mask and he refuses to talk about anything. Put a bologna sandwich in front of him and you get this is a full-blown Vlad TV breaking down all of the insides and outsides history, okay? And he's basically saying that, he found out that Birdman was having some troubles with Lil Wayne because he didn't want to put his album out. And he basically goes on to say that he feels like he was kind of double-crossed by Birdman and Birdman wasn't giving him the whole story. He explains that Birdman said to him that he was mad because Wayne didn't want to give him a single to get the buzz to drop the album.
He was lying. He was like,
Right here.
I'm a white dude, man. Oh man, how old do you think I am?
So the cop playing super dumb, all right? But he really knows what's going on behind these scenes, okay? And Thug says something super interesting in a minute because he kind of says, he says something like, I don't want to block the case. It's kind of interesting. Like, he's just got very interesting phrasing on the next few things that he says. It was quite a strange way to put it, to be honest with you. We're going to get to that in a minute, okay? We're going to get to that in a minute. But, like, the next couple things, this is kind of the juiciest part of the whole thing, if I'm honest with you. And he points out, he says, it's crazy that Lil Wayne's from New Orleans, but he got shot in Atlanta.
Man, well, last month, and he started making fun of my hairline, man. That's sensitive for me, my hairline, man. I'm for real.
but yeah, but what was so crazy was this motherfucker Wayne from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga fucking damn shot at this nigga to us. I don't know.
Let's rewind that. Let's just rewind that real quick.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck. This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga fucking damn shot at this nigga to us. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did it. They said Rosco, but
I'm pretty sure he said he shot at the tour bus, and then he said, I don't know who did it. I don't know. I mean, I could be mishearing this. Apologies if I'm mishearing this, but you tell me what you heard.
this nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga fucking damn shot at this nigga to us. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did it. They said Rosco, but I ain't finna. What the fuck is this, man?
That's mayonnaise.
So he's still building the sandwich. The bologna sandwich is doing its thing while this is all going on, whilst he's saying these pretty insane statements. And the next thing he says after he gets distracted by the mayonnaise, and as much as these cops and these detectives are doing their thing, I swear the whole sandwich management kind of gets in the way of the juicy stuff. Like, you're getting it, bro damn near just told him exactly what you were looking for, and then you bring in the mayonnaise and derail the whole thing. But as he's about to say, he says, I don't want to block your case.
Oh, mayonnaise.
Hopefully mustard smell like honey.
Oh, I mean mustard. That's what I mean. I'm sorry. Mayonnaise.
I don't want to block. I don't want to block out y'all case by saying Rosco didn't do that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So now he's saying, I don't want to block your case by saying Rosco didn't do it. Like, that's a weird thing to want to do, right? I don't know, man. You guys got to tell me, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. I don't think Gunna's a snitch, so I'm super confused. This could easily not be snitching. This could just be,
no, if Gunna's
just not trying to block their case by saying the person they're trying to finger for the crime didn't do it.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to block. I don't want to block out y'all case by saying Rosco didn't do that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
This idiot did it. This idiot paying for it. If the idiot didn't do it, he's gonna be fucking home.
Yeah.
But
he's saying this idiot paying for it. This idiot didn't do it. If this idiot didn't do it, then he's gonna be home.
Idiot paying for it by saying Rosco didn't do that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
This idiot did it. This idiot paying for it. If the idiot didn't do it, he's gonna be fucking home.
Yeah.
But just knowing Rosco, man, that man a fucking scrub. That fool, I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro? But I don't fucking know, because every day nigga grow a fucking ball. I don't know. I honestly.
He basically is saying, like, I asked him, you shot somebody? I don't know, because he breaks the law every day. He said, no, in Roscoe. And he says, that man a scrub. I think he says a scrub or a scrug. But I guess he's just saying he's a mess. He breaks the law all the time, and he could be shooting at people. That's the way he seems to be saying it.
You know Roscoe? Man, that man a fucking scrub. That fool, I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro? But I don't fucking know, because every day nigga grow a fucking ball. I don't know. I honestly don't know. When that nigga 2 boys got shot at, I was in New Orleans.
Yeah. What,
They
man?
were booming me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That nigga really got the world like we beefing with each other.
He said, what he basically said is, he said he woke up to the news, all right, and he said he really got the world thinking we're beefing with each other. What he's kind of saying there is he's basically saying that shooting kind of made the beef real. And, you know, I don't know. I don't even want to put too much sauce on it, man. You just tell me what you think of what you're hearing, man. It's actually crazy. The cop would go on to ask the craziest question, the most obvious question. He says, okay, based on what you're saying, well, let's say hypothetically, why would he do it if he did do it?
Folk were like, ooh.
So, I mean, hypothetically, why would Rosco do that if he did it? Why would he do it? I mean, hypothetically, like.
You said why?
Yeah, like what's his beef with him? I mean, if they're boys, I mean, why? I mean, I just don't. It don't make sense to me. Like, I understand Birdman and Lil Wayne got beef over money, but what's Rosco got to do with any of that shit? I don't know.
Damn sure that's a hell of a fucking question I never even thought of. It's so, everything's moving so fast with that shit, with Birdman and Wayne to the point where I ain't even never thought, like, what the fuck is Rosco doing? But I talked to Rosco on the phone. Rosco, I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? You alright? He like, bro, I promise to God I ain't do nothing, I ain't shoot no motherfucking gun at nobody. I'm like, you sure, bro? He like, I promise. I'm like, okay.
He said he called Rosco and asked him if he shot anybody. And he said no. And he said, are you sure? And that's what he's telling detectives.
And then, you know, the internet was like, Rosco shot at him because of Young Thug. So all the promoters like, they stopped the show and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Folks stopped my show. I had 6 kids, I feed my family.
So the detectives would go on to pry into this rumor, and I thought this was true, but apparently it's not, that Peewee Rosco was actually Young Thug's road.
So let's hear what Whack 100 and academics have to say about this, because you know they have the snitch, what do they call it? The snitch radar.
Well, not with Nipsey, with Whack, where they talking about Nipsey. You know, Whack told me about the Nipsey shit way before. Of course, I was never gonna leak that. Hassan leaked it. Now Whack got to stand on it, and then everybody keep bringing it up. If I call Whack and I say this to him, I feel like if Whack says the wrong thing, and I'm saying the wrong thing because, you know, my first rule of snitching is you can't snitch if we like you. If Whack says the wrong thing, he's going to have to stand on it. It's going to turn into a bigger thing. And then when every time he's asked about it, he's going to be like, yo, bro. I ain't had nothing going on. I was just chilling, minding my business. And academics call my phone. And he played me some things, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to call it like it is, I got to say this. Brother, I don't want my name in this shit. Chat, you know how it's going to go, chat. That's what Whack does. Every time Whack would be like, yo, bro, why you, the Nipsey, when they start getting about Nipsey, bro, it's not like I said it. It was Hassan Campbell that put it out. I don't want the hell now. You know, if y'all know him, nah, chat, Somebody say I'm selective politicking. Yeah, because we like Young Thug. He can't tell. That's the rules. We like Thug. I'll call him. But chat, everybody, screenshot everybody in the chat. If he say the wrong thing, I'm blaming y'all. Because, well, Whack loves Thug too, so that's the first rule of snitching.
That's the first rule of snitching. If we like you, not snitching. That's a whole fact.
Yo,
Whack.
what up, bro?
My chat is on here. They're upset at me. They said, bro, you a civilian. You need to call Whack. We need his opinion. I'll give you the situation, okay? First of all, I told him I got a new thing, Whack. I got a new thing. The first rule of snitching, if somebody snitch, if we like you, you can't snitch. If we don't like you, you probably snitch, okay? It's very selective. You know how it goes. You know, not everybody calls spade a spade. So, they got me watching this Trap Lil Ross video where he...
Nigga, we about to run it on Clubhouse. Trap just sent it to me. Now, here go the thing. We ran that a year and a half ago on the Hunter side.
You know what we talking about? You know what we talking about? We talking about the Young Thug interrogation.
The 2-hour interrogation. A Young Thug when We ran that about a year and a half ago, Rosco.
If it was 2015, I have a
let me
question
ask
for
you
you
this
guys
question,
that's watching, right? If it was 2015, why couldn't it be expunged, right? The video or whatever it is, can it not be expunged? I don't know. Let me know.
What do you think about what that was? Was that telling?
Trap just sent it to me, right? And I'm trying to, let me remember this. And I'm finna show you so you don't know, so you don't think I'm bullshitting you as my brother. You know, one thing with you, Act, I don't bullshit you, right? I'm talking about at 2:26, he just sent me his work, and I said I'm gonna go run it. And I figured that's what it was, right? And I'm trying to remember it. I think one part that it caught my ear, because this shit about 2 hours, it was a part about Rosco.
Yes, he told the cops.
Well with me. Hold on, wait. Let me see if I can remember it. He said that Rosco does certain things and supplies certain things and always got certain things.
He be bringing Wayne drugs every day. He bring drugs for Wayne.
Yeah, that part it didn't fit. It didn't sit too well with me.
Now, hold on, Wack, we got to be honest now, because here's the thing. I go off my rule. If it was Gunna that did it, he snitched. But it's Thug. I like Thug. Thug ain't snitch.
Let me give you what.
If Gunna did that, that's snitching. But it's Thug, so that's the homie.
Listen. Telling is defined as such. Anytime you give information to law enforcement on anybody other than yourself, point blank. So now let's just do the math. The information he gave, if it was on somebody else, you know what I'm saying? And if it was to law enforcement, I'm talking to academics, and academics' phone is wired, and I don't know it, and they got that. I don't call that snitching.
Yeah, okay.
But if you sit in an interrogation tank and you talking to law enforcement and you giving them any type of criminal details about somebody else, right? Yeah, we got to call a spade a spade. That's
okay. So let me give you some details. I don't know if you watch the whole thing or you remember. They asked him, hey, you have the right to remain silent. You do not got to talk to us. This is not about why you're locked up. This is about something unrelated, but we're trying to get some clarity.
Yeah, right there you should have stopped. I mean, I'm a civilian, but I would have stayed there, but I would have a lawyer. You know what I mean?
Willing to speak to us without a lawyer? He said, I'll talk to you about whatever. They said, could you initial? He said, I'll talk to you. I'm not putting pen to paper. He says, okay, just acknowledge that we're not forcing it.
Do you think that he maybe thought he wasn't, but he had to know they was recording? He had to know that.
Again, I think, here's the thing. It's different when they just bring you to the station and you're like, they're recording. I think he was already locked up and they pulled him out the cell. So I think he thought they weren't recording.
They usually got it on
Hold on, because you know what happened? When they're talking to him, he says, I haven't eaten. And they went and got him
I remember that part.
They got him a bologna sandwich, and he said, y'all can't send somebody outside of here to get it, because he wanted real food. He ain't want that jail shit. And
I remember that part. That's in the first part.
So it was clear that he was locked up already, and maybe he thought he talking to them on a one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, but that don't make it no better. Like, hey, listen, bro, I'm gonna be real. Like,
is it better or worse than what Gunna did? You gotta be honest, Wack. I know y'all gonna review it on the Hunter side.
Remember, I don't put a better or worse on nothing. Now, if we just talk,
there's levels to telling. There's levels to telling, bro.
No, the fuck it ain't. Nah, nigga, was telling is telling. Cause I'm gonna be real.
So wait, hold on. A guy who wears a wire, you see as the same as a guy who say, listen, the gun ain't mine. Listen, I don't know what to tell you other than two of us in the car. I just tell you it definitely wasn't mine.
No. That's part of Gunna's telling. He also said, while they're trying to classify YSL as a gang. Is YSL a gang? Yes. Does YSL do criminal acts? Yes. He said all that shit. Remember, like, nigga, like, let's put it all out there. We all seen the video, heard the audio. That's just what it was.
But
right?
Whack, we got to get the answer. They say you're ducking. They said we never seen Whack like this, Whack on the ropes.
I'm not ducking nothing, motherfucker. You the one that want to classify snitching as less or more.
No,
nigga,
hold on. No, you gotta remember, I'm a civilian. I got really no stake in conversation about snitching. Hold on. Whack, I'm going off the streets. I'm going off the streets. And when it comes to the streets, you know what the streets tell me? If you talk to the cops and you spin them, you ain't tell. If you talk to the cops, you tell some shit, nobody get locked up, you ain't tell. They move the goalpost.
Hold on, here goes the spin 'em. Act right. Motherfucking a black dude, 6'3", bald-headed, shot at me, right? I'm hit. So I go to the hospital. Police come. Right? What happened? Right? Mexican dude, bald-headed, 5'6", walked up on me and popped me. That's spinning them. You gave him a different race, a different description. That's
hold
spinning
on.
them.
Wait, hold on, though. Suppose they take that description and go arrest a real person. You don't put a case on a real person. So you...
No, they can't go arrest a real person because that person don't exist who shot me.
All right, but they go put...
So I'm saying, listen, I'm telling you a nigga ain't supposed to say nothing, but I'm just giving you an example of spinning. If you give a nigga the opposite information of what it is, then a nigga can say, I was trying to spin him. Really, you ain't got to say nothing. But on some real shit, I mean, Roscoe's a real person. Wayne's a real person. These are real people that's kind of somehow tied together in the same circle one way or another. Giving that type of information to law enforcement about laws being broken is a no-no, bro. You can't do that. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, I fuck with Thug and all that. But when we looking at the situation and we just calling it what it is, 1 + 1 gonna equal 2. You know,
So wait, are you saying, and I know you're gonna go over it again because you gotta make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's. Are you saying if you hear some things where you feel like that's telling to you in that circumstance, Gunna and Thug would be the same person? It wouldn't be no like, oh, one's better than the other.
I mean, telling is telling. It ain't no, listen, okay, you got what niggas say, why he told and he went to jail. I know niggas that told on everybody, but because of the circumstances of the case, they beat the case. But, nigga, that don't mean your telling still don't stand up for telling. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you told. You get what I'm saying? Then you got lie snitching, where a nigga make up a lie and put it on you, and it leads to your arrest or your conviction. Telling is telling. Yeah, telling is telling. I think right now, Trap Lord, I don't know what Thug did to Trap Lord, but he just woke it up because we ran this shit about 1.5 years ago. Like, we literally ran this whole shit. It was out there, and
this morning,
and I sat back, hold on, I watched it, and it went away. Like, literally. But now, I haven't, because you know how Trap Lord be narrating shit, pointing shit out. Now it's going to come down to a thing to where niggas is saying this and that about Gunna, right? Well, actually, Thug was saying what he was saying about Gunna. Gunna's fan base has strengthened. Now I think people gonna be looking at Thug. I think if Thug would have never said nothing at Gunna, it wouldn't have as much impact. But now because Thug is pushing that line and pushing that narrative.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Will anyone actually like care though? Because the streets are rocking with Thug. They not rock. Gunna never really appealed back to the streets after he just kept making music.
Well, Gunna, listen. Nah, well, Gunna got some street niggas with him. Let's get that.
He got some people with him, but his music wasn't like I'm talking to the streets. Ever since Thug got locked up, released, he been talking about keeping it real, street niggas, fuck rat. Like, he's been keeping it in the streets. So the streets are looking at.
I don't know, because see, some of this shit, I be knowing if that's bro or that's some AI shit, because I be hearing songs. I don't be knowing if the fuck that's him.
He say he can't rock with Yak Gotti because Yak Gotti was telling.
Yeah,
and Yak Gotti telling came from an interrogation video where he said, "Let me out."
You know that. I tried to give you the video.
Yeah, you did. He said, "Let me out."
That's the video I tried to give you, but before him, I had it. I tried to give it to you.
And I ain't gonna lie, I seen Yak Gotti went on No Jumper and Vlad. I think he about to spin out of this one. I think at the end of the day we gonna say he ain't tell either. Wack, this telling stuff is like
no. Yak said some crazy shit. I can remember he said,
if you
all you gotta do is let me out, I'll go get you some more information. Some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
He said some crazy shit. But I mean, end of the day, bro, it's
that's
like
premeditated telling, like, but it's like one of those things. Imagine you planned the murder, but you never got a chance to do the murder. You're not a murderer, so he planned to tell.
No, but he was giving them information during that interview, bro. You gotta remember, bro. You're not gonna be in there 2-3 hours with law enforcement. You know, I know niggas that didn't went in there and went to sleep talking. And you ain't giving them some information on people other than yourself. At that point, you're trying to get out of something. But, you know, for just not Gunna, this thug shit, I'm going to be real, bro. A lot of people that's getting caught up now, they getting caught up at the right time because it's just content and conversation. I don't believe the fans, the people, or nobody, they don't really give a fuck.
Nope, as long as the music is good.
We just talking the rules, just the rules. Everybody knows that when it comes to dealing with law enforcement, talking to law enforcement, copping a plea, anytime you give them information than anybody other than yourself about any criminal offense, whether it leads to an arrest or not, is going to be deemed to be telling, bro.
Okay, so what? I'm going to ask again. If you had to say it right now, did Young Thug snitch or not?
Damn.
Yo, you hear me?
Yo, there you go. Okay, you said if I had to say right now what?
Did Young Thug snitch or not? Or do you need some more time to check out the video and the footage?
No, I'm going to say, listen, this is what I'm going to say.
Because I know you got a relationship with certain niggas that connect with you.
This is what I'm going to say, and I love Nephew to death. You know that, right? I'm going to say Young Thug gave way too much information, and he gave information that he shouldn't and was not supposed to get law enforcement.
Yeah, Wack, but you talking around it, though. You say for everybody else.
Here's the thing.
Wack, you said Munchie be told.
Hold on, wait. I'm going to tell you why.
You said loose cannon told. You said they working. They're told.
Listen, that's a fact. Listen, I'm going to tell you why. And as a man, I'm going to tell you this. There's never been a time, right, where Young Thug has given me reason to call him out his name, right? And if I got an issue with Thug or something Thug has done, I'm going to call him and I'm going to tell him how I feel about something. So right now, you're definitely sitting in front of a guy who has some respect for an individual, but the situation in front of me, the situation is not right. But what's not going to happen is I'm not going to call Thug out his name. I got a lot of love and respect for him. Dude, is it distasteful to me? Absolutely.
So Wack, you're proving my first rule of snitching. If we like you, you ain't tell. If it was Gunna, you'd have said he a rat.
No.
You'd have said you rat. You'd have said you long tail rat.
I'm gonna say this again. I got a lot of love and respect for Thug, right? Yeah. I have my reasons for this love and respect, right? And it's some things that I can't ignore. But I will say this because you got the light on me. Is the situation you telling me about how it happened, is it right? Absolutely. When it comes to the street, it's not right. And if it's not right, that automatically makes it wrong. But
I get what. Anyway, Wack got Clubhouse on fire with the same debate, and it was good. And I agree with 80% of everything that was said in there.
Got the video of my neighborhood in the city of Pacoima, and he showed up, and with a bunch of dudes, I'm like, who? So
strictly off your logic, right? We're going off your logic. Off your logic, you look at Gunna as a rat, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you got to look at Thug like a worse rat because Gunna didn't mention no fucking names and Thug did, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Thug mentioned two names. Thug mentioned Rosco name and Lil Wayne name, bro.
What did he say about Lil Wayne?
Thug said,
what did he say about Lil Wayne?
Trap know exactly what he said.
He explained that Rosco was carrying Lil Wayne's drugs. He said he brought Lil Wayne's drugs and he committed crimes every day. And he done explained all of the beef. Now Lil Wayne ain't, as far as I'm aware in this situation, and this is no disrespect, but Lil Wayne was the victim of a crime. There wasn't really anything to put on. Lil Wayne didn't retaliate. Lil Wayne didn't shoot nobody up to have that tour bus. This was a record industry dispute that led into the streets. So there weren't really anything to tell on Lil Wayne for.
Trap, but that statement right there that Thug said about Wayne and Peewee, ain't that implicating both of them in drug trafficking?
You could see it that way. Now, look, I'm willing to concede. If we really bending over backwards and breaking our spines to defend Young Thug, you could say he was carrying a legal prescription drug for him. You could say he was carrying his medicinal marijuana.
No, we ain't doing that. It wasn't even legal in Georgia then, bro. So it couldn't have been medicinal. It was not legal in Georgia at that point. That was 2015, bro. Wasn't no weed legalized in Georgia, bro. Yeah. I was still living in Atlanta at that point, bro. That shit was not legal, bro. Whatever he was carrying that was drugs was illegal, bro. Thug implicated Peewee, Rosco, and Lil Wayne in drug trafficking, bro. If anybody's gonna say Gunna is a rat, you gotta say Thug is a worse rat, bro. That's what you gotta say in this situation, bro. That's it. That's all.
Also, I just got to clarify, Wack. I just looked it up, and 100% it says in September the 24th, 2017, Young Thug, Gunna, and Cedric Vito Jones were arrested during the traffic stop. So there was a third man there, and that's in the paperwork.
So here goes the thing, right? I wouldn't give a fuck if it was a sixth man there. You don't do no talking. And this ain't the rules for the civilians. This is just the rules for us. You know, you don't, when they find something in the car, you get what I'm saying? You don't go to, because the minute you're saying it wasn't mine, now you just excluded yourself and we got these other two people. That ain't how it works. It's why I tell the gang.
Rules of snitching, yo.
And he knowing that they trying to classify this shit as an organized crime ring. That's a whole nother way. He did some, Gunna did some telling. So now, fuck what I say, Dreads. Where Dreads at? Dreads.
I feel like that's fine. I'm willing to concede if that's telling on Gunna's behalf for him saying I didn't have the drugs.
Fuck that, Trap. Fuck what the white dude and the black dude said. We going to chat GPT. Dreads, where Dreads at? Somebody in this motherfucker, goddamn it. I want to know the definition. Where it's at. All right, let me read it.
I got you, Wack. My phone had froze.
What is the definition of snitch?
Okay, the word snitch generally refers to snitch being a noun. Definition: a person who informs on someone, especially to the authorities, like the police. Informal and often derogatory, used to describe someone who betrays others by revealing secrets or reporting wrongdoings. Snitch.
Yep.
Damn. Fucking white guy, you won. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Trap. Let me ask you this, Trap. Trap, let me ask you this though, bro. If you looked at Thug and you looked at Gunna, right? You looked at what Gunna did and you looked at what Thug did. You looked at Thug's statement, right? If you had to say one of them told, who would you say told?
If we just looking at statements made, I would say saying yes ma'am in response to a pre-written plea isn't as much talking or telling as a 2-hour interrogation where not only did you say that certain people committed crimes.
A pre-written what?
It was a pre-written statement as part of his plea.
Who gave the statement?
I guess, was it his attorney?
No. Your attorney can't give a statement for you. That's what can't happen. Your attorney ain't the one that's incarcerated or being charged. There's only one person that can give a statement. My attorney can't go in there and tell them nothing but what I've told him, and that gotta be me writing it down, documented or recorded prior to, so they can have that. If not, the grounds for appeal is wide open. So the statement got to come from who?
I know you want to say that it came from Gunna, but I think that
I don't want to say that's where it came from.
But he just said yes, ma'am, and Young Thug said yes, ma'am.
No. He said yes, ma'am. To what? Is YSL a gang?
That's true. But then they both tell him.
Listen, we just establishing it. Look, man, we established it. We not. I don't really think. Well,
hold on, Wack. Hold on, Wack. Technically, now, Wack, ain't we been working on some new laws lately?
But that's just us shooting the shit. We ain't.
Street niggas are funny, son. Like they are part of the cabinet. You know what I mean? They have the government working for them. We're working on some new laws and regulations.
Gunna can't rat on a rat because Thug ratted before Gunna allegedly ratted.
Oh my God.
No, what do you mean you can't rat on
Gunna told in 2015. I mean, Thug told in 2015.
So you talking about stuff we've been discussing on the back channel on where we think this shit is going. Because I'm watching it. The new wave of things. Out with the old, in with the new. Right? And we jotted down 3-4 things. I didn't, this back there somewhere. And I was like, look, this is where things is probably going to end up going because I listened to what people say today. And their upbringing is totally different than what mine was in the generations prior to me. And it's coming down to that. Well, he told on me, so I told on him. Or, shit like that. But in this situation, I mean, anytime you give information to law enforcement on anybody other than yourself involving the commission of a crime or crime being broken that could trigger an investigation, the streets are going to deem that as telling.
But then Gunna didn't tell.
There you go. Cloud babies, it's my time. I got to get out of here, all right? It's late over here. I'm in Australia. It's 10:30 p.m. And I got to shoot tomorrow. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Young Thug is a snitch? Because to me, if Gunna is a snitch, Young Thug is also a snitch, okay? This boy was challenged for bologna sandwich, okay? No more Gunna diss. I want to hear everything in the track. You got to address this, all right?